Hi, y'all. How we doing? You can totally do better than that. Thank you. I'm Dallas. These are the performances. And to my great pleasure, it's Red. Woods people, come away from the trees. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? So my name is Red Durkin, and I'm a folk singer. And before I get started, I really wanna talk about something. And there's kind of like a misinformation going around. I've noticed it coming up in camp, and it really is kind of bothering to me. And so I really want to put a stamp on this, and I really want us to just kind of move past this and move beyond it and kind of let the healing begin around this process. So I just want to set something straight. It's that daddy longlegs are not poisonous. They are not even spiders. They are mites. And they eat dead things, and things that eat dead things don't need poison strong enough to kill things, because the things they eat are already dead. So it's not that they have inverted mouths, or that their teeth are too big, or that their lips are too small, because it doesn't really make much evolutionary sense for something to be unable to eat. It's that they are not poisonous and they're not spiders. So if you could just spread that and just really just correct people on it, because I know there's a lot of myth around them being the most poisonous spiders in the world, but they aren't spiders. They are mites. Okay. Now I have to move the guitar or the microphone up. Okay. So, and in talking about daddy longlegs, that got me to thinking of the animal kingdoms, and kind of where I come from, which is originally North Carolina. And somebody's from North Carolina based on how they say North Carolina, because y'all spell it with C-A-R, and Carolina does not sound like car to me. Maybe you're the ones with problems. But it reminds me of, the classifications of animals, and how mites can be spiders sometimes, and things like that. So I thought I would explain kind of my system for how animals work. And basically you got your critters, and critters are, any little critter, or pretty much any little thing. Then you got your varmints. And varmints are pretty much any critter you don't want in your house. And then there's there's a little bit of an overlap there with varmints to the next one, which is creepy crawlies. Creepy crawlies are pretty much a varmint that has 8 or 9 legs and is covered in ooze. Next, you got your vittles. Vittles are any animal people eat. And the last family of animals is the big ol' fuckers. And big ol' fuckers are any critter you can't kill with your bare hands. Speaking of critters you can't kill with your bare hands, I was thinking about Tony the Tiger earlier, and I was thinking that it would be really funny if Tony the Tiger was an indie rock snob, because he would really just be the most positive, upbeat indie rock snob ever. He'd just be like, "Have you heard the Shins yet? They're great." That kills me. I think that's the funniest thing ever. And so, anyone who didn't laugh, you don't get it. You're not a genius, and I'm a genius, so... I know. No, literally, I am. Proven fact. Okay, what do I have next? And to show how much of a genius I am, I actually did a set list for tonight. and I've never done that before, so I actually like have things I can talk about, and I know where I'm going. We could be here all night. I hope you're ready because we're all gonna die here. Um, Next up, can continue on with the animal theme, moving on to a little bit of childhood and development. This is a story from my childhood, and it kind of explains a lot of who I am and where I come from, and it was one of those really inspirational moments for me and in my life, and it was really important. It was, I was probably about 5 or so. It was the middle of summer, and I was outside, and I was just taking in the sunshine because I wasn't allowed to play Nintendo at the time. And I was sitting on my back porch, and, we had a little bit of woods in our backyard, and sometimes some critters would come up, and that particular day, the critter that came up was a rabbit, and I was, it is so good to be excited about rabbits. And so this rabbit came up to my back porch, and I was thinking to myself, it's about time I had a pet. And so I kind of crawled up. I crawled up to the edge of the porch, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna name that fucking rabbit George. You just watch me." And I peered over the edge, and there was this moment, and there's a moment that happens kind of between animals, and it was really intense for me to be part of that real natural transaction where you're creeping up on something, and it sees you, and for a brief moment, it's just like, oh shit. And then you're like, yeah, that's right, it's on. And then, so after that moment, it only lasts a second, I was tearing down the porch steps after it, and it was tearing across the yard away from me because it didn't want to be my pet, and I wanted it to be my pet, and we were going to see who was right or wrong. And so, I was chasing it through the field, I was chasing it through the woods, I was chasing it over hill and dale, and I chased it through my grandmama's house, and slowly but surely I was catching up to it, which was really amazing to me because, rabbits, they're fast. They get away from you. So, I felt like there was a certain moment of triumph. I was, overcoming and other, kind of, buzzwords around, success. Those things were all happening to me. And so I catch up to this bunny, and I reach down and I pick it up, and it's my prize. I finally have my bunny. I pick it up and I take it into my hands, and all of its guts fall out. I mean, all of them. And so, of course, I dropped the bunny. And I don't really remember what happened next. I don't really remember screaming. I don't remember my parents coming out. I just remember looking down, seeing my hands covered in blood, and watching the bunny run away from me and squeeze out of our yard through a crack in the fence with all of its guts hanging behind it. So, I mean, that does explain a lot of where I come from and who I am. Just for a clarifying note, I didn't fucking hurt that bunny. I don't know what happened. I think a cat got it or something. I did not tear a bunny open because, people have been mad at me for this story. And it's like, no, I picked it up. I said, now you're my new pet and I love you. And all of its guts fell out. I didn't go, bunny, and, bite into it. So, this was bad for me. I'm sure it was horrible for the bunny, but I didn't hurt that bunny. That bunny was going to fall apart anyway. So that takes us from development, and part of my development as a child has a lot to do with my development as a queer person, because I came out as trans pretty much as soon as I heard of what another trans person was. I was just like, oh my god, that's me. And so, a lot of it is I didn't have a lot of information. I didn't really research much. I joined the Tranny Roadshow about a month after I came out as trans, and was hanging out with trans people for the first time. So, I mean, this community has been really good to me, and this mic is really hot.
Yeah, I'm trying to
It's like burning hot. Like it's burning my face. Is the I think it is better. Okay, perfect.